She was dismayed when the mail arrived this week and she received this postcard. It purports to be from the Harris campaign, thanking her for putting up a sign and alerting her a family from Nicaragua would be moving into her home.
Last I checked, illegal immigration is kind of a big story this election season. It's kind of the number one issue for most voters. Not just the obvious national security problems with our border security or lack thereof, and of course the crime in our streets, plus the wear on our economy and our jobs, and plus, not to mention, on our federal, state, and local budgets, because all of those government programs that have to be accommodated for illegal immigrants, non-citizens, people who are in this country illegally, who were living off our tax dollars. It's a major problem, and it's a major problem specifically for Kamala Harris and the Democrats because they've caused all of this, and Donald Trump will fix all of this. That's the idea. And so I think it's important to point out a story out of Boston that I think sheds some light on exactly where things stand right now on the immigration issue. And if you've got any undecided voters in your life right now, in your family, who are still sort of on the fence, can you remind them of the problem of illegal immigration? And maybe even show them this, because there's been a lot of virtue signaling from Democrats and the left and liberals about Donald Trump and about how horrible he is and how bad it would be for him to be president. And so look what happens to some Kamala Harris voters when they're confronted with the reality of their candidate's policies on the border.
I put a lawn sign in my front yard, and I don't think I should be subjected to these fraudulent mailers.
When this 50-year-old Shrewsbury woman put up a Harris wall sign in front of her home, she just wanted to show her support. She never imagined she would be subjected to a campaign dirty trick.
It really creeped me out.
She was dismayed when the mail arrived this week and she received this postcard. It purports to be from the Harris campaign, thanking her for putting up a sign and alerting her a family from Nicaragua would be moving into her home.
That's when I realized it was an obvious attempt to try to either scare me or rage bait me and make me upset.
It's absolutely a scare tactic.
Oh my God, I love this so much. So let's just be clear here. Some group, not sure who, goes through the neighborhood and starts taking down the addresses of anybody in, liberal Boston, Massachusetts, takes down the addresses of anybody who has a Kamala Harris yard sign, and then sends them this postcard. Thank you for supporting Kamala! Exclamation point. We are so appreciative of you putting out a yard sign, but now we need your continued help. We'll be moving a family of 2 from the country of Nicaragua into your home on October 30th, 2024. They will need food, toiletries, and transportations. Thank you. And I love the virtue signaling liberal Massachusetts Democrat who says, well, this is an obvious sign of intimidation and scare tactics. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Why would you be intimidated by the idea of 2 Nicaraguans coming in to live with you and you having to provide them everything that they need? Why is that? Why scare tactics? Why is that scary? You know that other cities and other communities and other neighborhoods are having to take way more than just 2 people into their towns, weighing down the social system that's built in that town to a point where it's breaking. You know that kids' schools are having to take in all of these illegal immigrants. Oh, I'm sorry. Is your kid going to a private school so you don't have to deal with that? Oh, I see. Well, you're right. It is scary and intimidating that you would have to conceive of bringing in people from a foreign country to live with you and you have to provide for them. But that's exactly what's happening here. Oh, sure. Maybe not moving into people's homes, but they might as well be. They're moving into the public square. They're living in parks. They're living in tents because there's no system to accommodate all of the illegal immigrants who have been flooding into this country. And I love that you're outraged by this idea. Why exactly? Why would this be a problem? 2 other people took it to the next level. Instead of just sending the postcard, they actually went door to door. And they went in costume. They're wearing Harris Walls 24 t-shirts, and they decided to approach people at their doorstep and talk to them about what they were going to do to pitch in to accommodate illegal immigrants. I mean, you're supporting Kamala Harris, right? Well, then, put your money where your mouth is.
I dressed up like I work for Kamala's campaign, and now I'm gonna deliver immigrants to her supporters.
We are voting for you. Don't worry.
Are you? We do have a surprise, if that's okay. It's just real fast. We're looking for a place for them to stay. They just came across. They'll sleep on floors. I mean, they're not picky, you know.
We have like a 2-year-old, so
Hector's good with kids.
sorry, we just can't.
Could they just like sleep on your lawn?
They need a place to stay. They just came across.
My teenagers live with me. I don't
Oh, that's fine. Hector, he was dating a teenager like a little bit ago, so
Okay.
they just came across. They don't have papers. You're in support of like the whole border situation, and we're just trying to get them a floor to sleep on. You guys want COVID? They said they could survive it.
You learn how to say her name.
We work with her, so we know how to say her name.
Earlier you said Kamala. The way she pronounces her name is Kamala. You don't work with her either.
See that car? We have 3 dudes who just came across the border. We're trying to find them a home.
Bring them home.
Just say I'm voting for Donald Trump without saying it, okay?
That's a wrong attitude, mister. I said my vote is private.
So you're voting Kamala.
Oh, I love the internet. I love social media and I love trolls, but that is, again, incredibly instructive. And I'm sorry, I live with my teenage boys. Oh, it's okay. Hector's very good with teenagers. He was just dating a teenage girl up until a couple weeks ago. Oh, that's gold. That is absolute gold. You gotta wonder, I mean, what is the problem here? Seriously. I mean, this is exactly the manifestation of these policies, and you're voting to continue it. In fact, you're voting to empower it. You're voting to reward these policies and put them on steroids for the next 4 years. That's really what you're voting for when you vote for Kamala Harris. So it's brilliant to have them actually confront it. I do love, can I just see the beginning? I think this is LA. It's got to be LA. Based on the neighborhood and based on the trees there in the background, this looks like a Southern California. So I love this couple here. Beautiful looking home, right?
Deliver immigrants to her supporters.
We are voting for you. Don't worry.
Are you?
Look at the face with the bugged out eyes. We're voting for you. We're the good people. We're on your side. Don't worry. We've got you. We're the good people. Can't you see us? We have virtue. We're liberal. We would never vote for the bad orange man. We're on your side. All right. So you're really good. Because understand something. A lot of the people who are overt Kamala Harris supporters who like go nuts with all the, oh my God, my drive home in DC today from my radio studio, I had to drive up Connecticut Avenue in Northwest DC, Chevy Chase, back where Brett Kavanaugh used to live. Actually, he still lives in that neighborhood now that I think about it. And the banners. Oh, the banners. It's not just yard signs now on these houses. They've got giant banners that look like, flags or whatever on the fences in front of their homes. That's right. They have fences. They're fine with fences if it keeps the rabble out of their yard. And they've got these big banners that say, vote as if democracy depends on it. See, when you're doing that, when you're putting the giant banner out, you're not trying to get people to vote for your candidate. You're trying to send a message to all your neighbors. Look how virtuous we are. Our Kamala sign's bigger than yours. We care more than you. We are that good. We are that moral because we're voting Democrat. That's the message. So here she is. Don't worry. We're on your side. We're voting for you. Oh, really? Oh, great. So you know what? Put your virtue where your mouth is.
Don't worry.
Are you? We do have a surprise, if that's okay. It's just real fast. We're looking for a place for them to stay. They just came across. They'll sleep on floors. I mean,
Look at her eyes. And she had to get her husband. Honey, can you please take care of this? Look at her eyes. We're bringing some of Kamala Harris's illegal immigrants to your home. They'll sleep on the floor. Don't worry. They'll mind their own business. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear, is there? Oh, you don't want them in your home? Why? What are you worried about? What are you afraid of? Because this is what you're doing to our country. You know what? Let's finish it up here. If immigration matters to you, our buddy Western Lensman, love this guy. He does great videos. I want to remind you of one of the most effective videos he put together this campaign season, specifically about Kamala Harris and about the border. Because you hear a lot of talk from her today, oh, we'll deport people who shouldn't be here. We'll secure the border. It's like, where the hell are you right now? Why haven't you been doing it for the last 3.5 years? Let's not forget who she is, exactly who she is. If the border matters to you, If the border matters to anyone in your life and they're still on the fence, show them this.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border.
Raise your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime to cross the border without documentation. Can we keep the hands up so we could see them?
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all, to people who are in this country illegally?
I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being public education or public health. ICE is administering its power in a way that is causing fear. Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a
that
perception?
puts ICE in the same category as the KKK? Is that what you're asking me?
Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing. And we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Frankly, a dereliction of duty when you are an elected leader to play those kinds of games with human life and human beings.
Yeah, good job, Western Lensman. Really like him on the X platform, and I subscribe to his channel, in fact, over there on X. The issue is clear. We should come right back, and the closing argument from Donald Trump today at all of these rallies he's going to do needs to include the border. That was the first and number one top issue at the beginning of this campaign, and it needs to be at the end. They have ruined the border, and Trump has already shown that he can fix it. He's done it before, and he can do it on day one when he gets in there again. If it matters to you, and I think that it does, it probably does, make sure you let them see these videos. Hugely important. And let's just finish this. It's been a long road, guys. Let's finish strong. And let's win this thing tomorrow. Make sure you vote and make sure you get other people out to vote. And don't forget, we've got our live stream starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow from downtown Washington, D.C. It's going to be crazy. And honestly, we are literally going to be in the middle of a party. We're going to be down at a location. We'll tell you where we are tomorrow. But we're going to be at a location where there's a bunch of other shows. I think Sean Spicer's doing his show. He'll probably come on and join us for a little while. He's doing his primetime show for the First TV network upstairs in the studios. We've got a couple of other colleagues that are doing radios and podcasts. They're all up in the studios on the 3rd or 4th floor of this building. We're going to be right there downstairs in the middle of this giant party with an open bar and food. And it's going to be a blast because that's our vibe and that's how we roll over here on the Larry Show for Town Hall. So make sure you tune in tomorrow and make sure you subscribe with alerts. So when we go live, we might go live early. We may go, who knows? And like I said, we may go all night long. You're not the boss of me. I'll go as long as I want tomorrow night on election night. And we're going to be right here for you. We started this together. We're going to end this together. Hopefully it'll actually be over tomorrow night. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be over Wednesday. Maybe it'll take till next week. Maybe we'll all be doing a show on Thanksgiving. Doesn't matter. We got a country to save, and we're going to do it together. You know, there's a lot at stake in this upcoming election. Regardless of who's sitting in the White House, the fuse in the economy has already been lit. 4 years of a conservative presidency is probably not going to be enough to turn the tide of our $35 trillion national debt. It's going to take a few conservative presidencies to really make a difference there. And if the left wins this time around, forget about it. It's like throwing gas on an already blazing dumpster fire. You don't have a whole lot of control over the election's outcome. You're probably feeling somewhat frustrated about that. That's all right. Control what you can control. You can diversify your savings right now by investing in gold from Birch Gold. For millennia, gold has stood firm in the face of greedy governments, economic upheavals, and global strife, and it can help protect you right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. In the past 4 years, the buying power of the U.S. dollar has declined while the price of gold has increased by 40%. You think that's a coincidence? Text Larry to 989898 right now. Get your free info kit on gold. Trust Birch Gold to protect your savings. Text Larry to 989898 today.